I'm very, very glad to be back home here. Back home in the sense that I'm an alumni of this university. I did my master's program here. And even as we speak, I'm at the tail end of my PhD at this very, very institution. I'm a student of strategy here. So I'm glad to be back home. But what has really made me happy this morning is the fact that what the university is doing in terms of automation of processes is very much in tandem with what we are doing as government. So I want to spend the few minutes I have for my speech to draw a parallel between what you are doing and what we are doing as the national government as far as the digital transformation agenda is concerned. Let's start with the 155 Wi-Fi hotspots. Now, as a Kenya Kwanza government, under the tutelage and leadership of His Excellency the President, in our Kenya Kwanza plan, the digital superhighway and the creative economy is a standalone thematic area. And it was deemed so because in the wisdom of the authors of that plan, ICT is not just an enabler to all the facets of our plan, but is also a critical success factor for government moving forward. So what are we doing in that regard, which is in tandem with what you are doing here? We are rolling out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable. We are doing this because we want to ensure that all those parts of the country that hitherto had not yet been connected by way of internet get reliable and stable internet. So we are already on the trajectory of rolling out the 100,000 kilometers of fiber to all parts of the country. And correspondingly, we are setting up a total of 25,000 Wi-Fi hotspots, which is in tandem with what you are doing here. I'm happy that students will now have hotspots around the hostels so that they can connect to the online platforms that you have within the university from the comfort of their hostels. They are able to join the classes when they are actually within their halls of residence, which would never happen during our time. We would have to physically move to the four walls of the classroom from the student hostels to get the lectures. The other issue, which I'm happy about, is the digitalization of your processes. That is the same thing that we are doing in government, so we are very much aligned. Our target is to ensure that all government processes are going to be digitalized so that Kenyans can consume services from the comfort of wherever they are. When we came into government last year, we only had a meager 350 services available. Last year but one, we only had a meager 350 services aboard the eCitizen platform. As we speak today, we have got a whopping 15,462 services already fully digitalized. Yeah? And the remaining services are already partially digitalized. So in the not too distant future, I can state, good people, without fear of contradiction, that all government services will be available virtually on the eCitizen platform, and Kenyans will be able to consume government services from the comfort of wherever they are. Another thematic area where we are very much aligned is the area of digital skilling, and I'm happy that we are already working together in this regard, because in our wisdom, if we have got the requisite digital infrastructure, public digital infrastructure in place, correspondingly we must ensure that there is a commensurate level of digital skilling among the Kenyan population. And that's the same thing you are doing with your students here. Already we are starting with the youth. We have rolled out an ambitious Jitume digital skilling program targeting the youthful members of the Kenyan society, including but not limited to those in our institutions of higher learning. For a start, we embarked on rolling out this program within the TVETs. As we speak, we have established this program in a total of 185 TVETs, spread evenly all over the country. And we keep on launching this program. Yesterday, I was at the Kasarani Technical and Vocational College, launching a digital hub there. Our objective in this regard, good people, is to ensure that our youth get digital skills. But ultimately, and most fundamentally, ensure that the youth have got access to digital jobs. Digital jobs. This is a paradigm shift. It is a drift away from the norm because the white-collar jobs are today limited. The only space where we have got an abundance of opportunities is the digital space. We have got a lot of jobs available on digital platforms. So as government, in a proactive manner, we are training our youth, but going the extra mile to ensure that we connect our youth to global technological companies so that they can leverage on the opportunities there by way of digital jobs. And they are being paid in dollars. It's amazing that even students who completed their KCSE exams just 6 months ago are today already earning up to an equivalent of even 200,000 Kenya shillings. It sounds too good to be true, but these are the facts of the case. Yeah? This is the only way we can sort out the unemployment problem, the perennial unemployment problem that we have been accustomed to in this country. That is the only sustainable manner of sorting out this challenge of unemployment. Again, this is the President's program. He's leading from the front and is determined to ensure that all our youth, wherever they are going to be digitally empowered by way of these digital jobs. We are not just stopping at the TVETs. Recently, we have gotten into a partnership with our legislature, working together with our honorable members of parliament to facilitate a review of the CDF Act to enable members of parliament now spend up to 3% of annual CDF allocation on establishing the facilities where we can deploy the digital devices. As national government, what we are doing then subsequently is to provide the devices, connect the internet, facilitate the training for free. The youth are not going to pay. Facilitate the training and connect them to the digital jobs. Since we started this program 1 year ago, we have managed to train a total of 390,000 youth, while at the same time, we have connected a total of 135,000 youth to digital jobs, now gainfully employed. And this is going to transform these youth instantly from learners to earners. They start earning when they are still learning. And that's why I want to appeal to the university, Bwana Vice Chancellor, to find ways and means, and we are able to support you. We are ready and available to support you, to ensure that on the digital platforms and systems that you have established here, the students of this great institution can also become earners within those digital platforms so that they are able to raise enough money to even pay their fees, have surplus to meet other means of subsistence, support their younger siblings who are in high school by paying fees, and even support their aging parents. And they'll have enough money to do this on the jobs on the digital platforms. And of course, most fundamentally, also pay tax at source. Okay. Yeah? Then, issues to do with digitization of records. That's another area. Digitization of records. That's another area. All government records, apart from the services, all government records will be fully digitized. All government records will be fully digitalized. I'm happy that you have already embarked on issuance of e-stickers, e-car stickers. During our time, we would have to physically go and visit the security officer there, submit copies of the car logbooks. You know, now you can do all that online with automated systems. Upload a copy of your car log, scan and upload a copy of your car logbook there. The security team should be able to have a virtual mechanism of authenticating the ownership of that car, while in linkage, of course, with the NTSA, yeah, for example. That is how amazing technology can be. Do you believe that in the area of digital skilling, we are going to set up a digital hub in each and every ward in this constituency? We have already embarked on that process. Where the members of parliament have got facilities, we are going ahead to deploy the devices and embark on the training and connect the youth to the jobs. So the net effect of all this is that we will not be having the youth coming to Nairobi to look for jobs. We will be creating the jobs right there in the village. Right there in the village, at the ward level, and connecting them to global technological companies to consume or to leverage on technology to get those digital jobs, earning in dollars, and that money will be revolving around the villages. And eventually, as opposed to being job seekers, they will, based on their savings, be able to move out of the digital hubs which we are setting up in each and every ward, to set up their own hubs where they can now become employers as opposed to job seekers. This is a game changer. This is a game changer for this country. I'm also happy that you have recognized the fact that in the face of digitalization, another area of concern should be data privacy and data security. That is why you are establishing the data centers, ensuring that you have got safe data centers. We are again very much aligned in this regard, because people keep on asking us that based on all that is happening today globally, as far as cybersecurity or insecurity is concerned, are we not overexposing ourselves as a country by digitalizing all services? And my answer has always been simple, that we are not going to stop digitalization because of exposure to cyber insecurity. All that we need to do is to ensure that we have got safe data storage facilities, and at the same time ensure that we have got a comprehensive risk mitigation framework built around our digitalization processes, so that as we digitalize our services, we also correspondingly ensure that our risk mitigation framework can stand the test of time. So I'm glad that you are already embarking on the data centers. As the national government, we already have a fully fledged data facility at our Konza Technopolis. There is still room for more. In fact, as we speak, we are now creating an enabling environment for the private sector to come in and invest in this space of data centers, while leveraging on renewable energy that we have within the country available at our disposal. And Kenya is actually a destination of choice for the private sector globally to come in and set up data centers. All factors being held constant, tomorrow we will be signing an MOU with the government of the United Arab Emirates, because they have got private sector players who want to come into Kenya, leverage on our renewable energy to set up data centers here. Yeah? So we are on the right trajectory. Now, the other issue that comes to mind, more so because I'm speaking to a student population, is in the face of all this digitalization, how are we going to ensure that a substantial proportion, if not all Kenyans, have got access to smart-enabled telephones? Because we have got a challenge in that area. If we are digitalizing everything, but Kenyans don't have smart-enabled telephones, then we are going to have a challenge in consumption of government services. Again, proactively as government, we have partnered with the private sector already in this regard. For a start, we have embarked on local assembly of cheap, smart-enabled telephones, which are already available in the Kenyan market. From October last year, when His Excellency the President launched the facility, that facility has today churned out a total of 194,000 units of the phone. It's called the Neon phone, which is available in the Safaricom outlets. It's also available in the Jamii Telecom outlets, going for at a unit cost of about $50. But eventually, we want to go the full hog and embark on manufacture of telephones here. We want Kenya to be a manufacturer of technology. We don't want to be a net importer of technology. So moving forward, apart from telephones, we will ensure that we embark on manufacture of both computer hardware and computer software right here in Kenya. And we have already put in place the requisite infrastructure within our Konza Technopolis to create an enabling environment for the private sector to come in and invest in these spaces. I'm also glad, and in fact I'm a beneficiary of your e-learning program processes already. When I enrolled for my PhD program here during the period of COVID, we could not have physical classes. In fact, I could not believe it that we could do online registration, join classes virtually, interact with lecturers virtually, sit exams virtually. I'm a true testimony and beneficiary of these e-learning processes at this university. I pursued my entire coursework at PhD level in this university virtually without having to step into the four walls of a classroom. That clearly shows you that technology is real and technology can do wonders. Again, within our Konza Technopolis, we have already partnered with the Ministry of Education also to host our Open University, which was again launched by the President sometime last year. You would not believe it, good people, that even matatu drivers today, I've witnessed matatu drivers today joining online classes while waiting for passengers at the bus stage. That would never happen. And this is going to drastically reduce the cost of education. So what is the end game with all these processes? What is the end game? One, let us prepare for a new Kenya where we are going to run paperless operations. You are already embarked on this process at the university. We have embarked on it within government. We are going to run a paperless government. All records will be digitized. All services will be digitalized. We will run a paperless government. If that is the case, then the next thing that we need to do is to have a mechanism, and I'm throwing this challenge to you, Bwana Vice Chancellor. What you now need to do is to have a mechanism of authenticating that all stakeholders that you are interacting with as a university are whom they claim to be. So that you don't have people physically visiting the university and flashing an identity card. You need to have a virtual mechanism of authenticating that your students are the people they are, as they attend classes, as they do the exams. That is the challenge also we have within government. And we are already working on this to come up with a virtual mechanism of authenticating that each and every Kenyan is the person he or she claims to be, to facilitate virtual transactions between members of the public and the government. That is why we are pursuing the digital identity, a virtual mechanism of confirming that you are whom you claim to be, to facilitate these virtual transactions. Once we get there, then we will run the paperless government. Kenyans will be able to consume government services from the comfort of wherever they are. We will enhance efficiency and effectiveness. And I believe you have already witnessed this at the university, that your level of efficiency and effectiveness has already increased. You are already on the virtual payment platform, linked to our own payment platform, the 222. You would not believe it. Before we embarked on the process of having payments on the 222 platform, we were collecting on average about 60 million shillings per day. Today, we are, on a daily basis, we are collecting up to, in some instances, about 1 billion shillings. What has happened? Because the revenue sources are largely the same. It means we have leveraged on technology to seal out the revenue leakages. To seal out the revenue leakages. Yeah? There's a lot of revenue sources which had not yet been brought into the revenue basket because people preferred manual processes because they are benefiting from the status quo. That is what we need to do. Let us digitalize all our processes to re-engineer our operations, enhance efficiency, effectiveness, seal out all revenue leakages, eliminate corruption fully within our operations. This will give us enough revenue within the institutions, the university included, to run our operations. I can assure you that if you digitalize all your processes, you should be able to run this university in a sustainable manner while leveraging on your own internally generated revenues. It's possible. It's doable. We have witnessed it in national government, and we are going to go the full hog to ensure that all our services are fully automated to enhance our revenue base, bring in more people into the tax bracket. We will be able to collect adequate resources from internally generated resources to settle our external debt and even surplus to finance both our recurrent and development expenditure. But let's prepare for a new Kenya. A new Kenya where we are going to run a paperless government, a new Kenya where we are going to leverage on technology to run a 24-hour economy. Because with technology now you can work at any time. This same youth we are talking about working on virtual platforms will be working for global technological companies in America, in the UK, in Canada, in Germany, in India, in Singapore, just to mention but a few. And based on the timelines, they should be able to work at any given point in time. Once we set up the 25,000 Wi-Fi hotspots in the markets, our mothers and sisters who are involved in the itinerary trade there should be able to leverage on technology for purposes of e-commerce. We don't need a physical interface between the seller of a commodity and the buyer of a commodity. All they need to do is to get a photo of their commodity, post it virtually. The prospective buyers should be able to see that. They communicate on phone, payment is made by M-Pesa or otherwise, then transportation is done to the ultimate destination. In fact, as government, again, we have already come up with an e-commerce policy and a national addressing system, policy and bill to facilitate last mile delivery through e-commerce. So we are on the right trajectory, good people. If we do all this, working together with all of you, we should be able to position Kenya effectively in the marketplace as the ICT hub of Africa and also on the global map by way of comparative advantage. My parting shot, Bwana Vice Chancellor, is this. Please go ahead and digitalize everything. Thank you very much. I now have the distinction and privilege to officially declare the University of Nairobi's ICT systems formally launched. We will celebrate your